Merry Christmas from Handmade by Kailana, and today I'm going to be working on a fabulous gingerbread house decor piece that is going to double as an advent calendar. So I have a non-traditional Christmas color scheme this year. Dusty pink, teal, and a bit of red and white. And so I definitely wanted to customize my gingerbread house to match those colors. So I needed to start with a plain wood base, something that would last more than just this year. And so after a lot of searching around the internet, I found this wonderful piece. It's $29.99 on Amazon. I wanted something solid and wood, and that would last, again, for more than 1 year. But I'm also cheap, and so I did not want to spend too much on it. And I think I kind of got the right mix of quality and price here. When it came in, it was nice and solid. A few of the drawers stuck, but after just rearranging them with some of the other drawers, it worked perfect, and all I needed to do was a little sanding to get away the splinters and some rough spots, but it worked out perfect. Totally recommend it. So my concept for this gingerbread house is going to be something like that, drawing from all the colors in my other Christmas decor. And then I want this big blank space in the middle to serve as kind of you're looking inside the gingerbread house into their living room that has the Christmas tree and the fireplace with the stockings hung. And then I'm going to gingerize or gingerbreaderize my little family, have me and my 2 kids in the picture, but as gingerbread men or gingerbread people. So I'm going to start painting the brown of the gingerbread. I'm going to be using this nice brown orangey color that I think mimics gingerbread as close as I can get it. And then I'm going to incorporate just a little bit of yellows and gold just to give it a little bit of dimension and a little bit of shine. And then I'm going to use a darker brown to kind of highlight the edges, those parts that would get a little bit darker in the oven. Now that I've painted all of the gingerbread parts brown, I'm moving on to my living room wall, which I'm going to paint a muted pink. Now I'm going to work on the drawers. I'm painting them pink, red, white, and teal. But before I get started, I need to put in a little bit of prep work. First, I wanted to make sure the drawers were in their best position. When I first opened them, some of them were really difficult to open and to close. So by swapping them around, I was able to find the best position for all of them so that they all opened and closed relatively easily. Next, I numbered them because I knew when I started painting them, I would get them all confused and I would have lost all that work I had done to put them in their best position. Finally, I tried out a few mock-ups of the color configuration so I can make sure that it looked the best. And that was a good thing that I did because the first couple that I tried out really didn't look good. Some of the colors were right next to each other, and I didn't want that. So I was able to find a configuration that I'm pretty happy with. And my final step for my drawers is to give them a little icing because this is a gingerbread house. So I got out my puffy paint and put on like little decorations on each of the drawers so it really took on that feel and look of an iced gingerbread house. So I'm going to switch gears for a moment and start working on one of the focal points of my Christmas scene, which is the fireplace, because you need a place to hang your Christmas stockings. I searched all over for a fireplace, but none of them were the right scale or were just too expensive. One contender I had was on Amazon. It was okay. but it was like $13 or $15, and my cheap self was like, that is way too expensive for what it is, since that's half the price of the wooden base. So I searched a little more and I found the exact same fireplace at Hobby Lobby on clearance, and I was like, score. So that's what I have here. It looks pretty boring right now, but just wait. So I started by sanding it, and there was like this thin layer of varnish all over it. I knew the paint was gonna have trouble sticking to it, but there was so many nooks and crannies on it. So I decided gesso was gonna be my answer. So I painted the whole thing with gesso, and I kind of liked how the white looks. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I painted the inside of the fireplace pink and the grate pink to tie in the back of the living room wall. And I think it looks really cool, but I did need to give it a little something more. So I took out my hot glue gun and put a layer on the top of the mantle and had some pieces dripping down, and then put little mounds of it on there, and then put a little bit on the bottom as well. Then I took some fake snow that I had gotten at the dollar store. It has like white flakes and some iridescent pieces that kind of go from translucent to pink and green, perfect colors for what I'm doing. And then I mixed that into some Mod Podge, and then I put that on top of the hot glue, and I love the effect it gives. It kind of glitters in the light, and it looks like snow or a big icy, like glittery icing, so it's perfect. My fireplace just needs some Christmas stockings. I have this piece of Christmas fabric left over from some Christmas project in the past. It has peppermint candies and some candy canes, so it's perfect for my candy theme. I cut out a simple stocking pattern, making sure the back straight edge is cut on the fold so I have one less side to sew up. Then with right sides together, I'm going to hand sew up the open sides of the stocking. I just need to turn that inside out, and I have my completed stocking. Well, almost. I need to put some trim at the top. I have this piece of faux fur. I believe it's from some stockings I made last year, and I just need the tiniest bit to glue to the top of my stocking, and then I'm finally complete. They're ready to hang on the fireplace. I have this simple, cheap bottle brush Christmas tree. I love the color. It's this rich green with kind of a dark teal undertone, which is perfect for my scene. It's a little tall, so I pulled out the wire from the wooden base and then kind of pushed the wire down. So I cut off like maybe half an inch, and then glued it back onto the wooden base so that I have some room to put it into the living room scene. I got these little mini Christmas ornaments from Hobby Lobby on a 50% off sale, so that was perfect. So each of them only cost like a few dollars each. It also has the perfect colors for my color scheme. There's a pink star and pastel pink, blue, and green little bulb ornaments. And I'm just gonna glue that all on the tree and then glue the whole tree into my living room scene. It's still just a little too tall. The star sticks out at the top, but I think it looks kind of cool that way, so I'm pretty happy with it. Now I'm going to start working on the accents of the gingerbread house. I have these plastic straws. They're red and white, and they look like peppermint sticks, and I thought that would look great on the roof and the sides of the house. Next, I'm going to put on this little rolling pin that I got that half off sale at Hobby Lobby. It was only a couple of dollars, and I think it goes perfectly with my theme of gingerbread man, baking, candies, all of that. And I love that it says ho ho ho. For the chimney, I think it just needs something. And so I got a squishy that I had in my stash. it's a dollop of whipped cream, and that just works so well for my chimney. I just pulled out the eye pin, cut off the seams of the whipped cream, and then hot glued it onto my chimney, and I think that totally works. Next, I'm going to work on the frosting and snow on the roof of my gingerbread house. I got out my hot glue gun and put a layer on top of the roof, and then had some drips of the hot glue coming off the front of the roof and then also off of the chimney. Then I'm going to use the trick with the fake snow and Mod Podge, mixing that together and then just kind of scooping that on everything. Wherever there was some holes in my fake snow, I just put in some metallic white puffy paint, and that worked out great and also gave it dimension and a little bit more shimmer. For the dollop on the top of the chimney, I just slathered that thing in puffy paint and then just, you know, shook some fake snow on top of it, and then I have my snowy roof. I then returned to the living room scene to add just a few more decorations. I glued the fireplace into the scene, and then I added this cute little cutting board which I got with the rolling pin. This one says fa la la, and it also was just a couple of dollars at Hobby Lobby. And then I took some like little pieces of glittery teal leaves and some of the leftover ornaments and then glued that onto my cutting board, and I think that really makes a nice Christmas decoration for my living room. I was looking at the Christmas tree and I just felt like it needed something. There was a few gaps and I just wanted to add something else. So I went into my stash and I had some Christmas buttons, some gingerbread men, and also some candy themed things or bakery things like cupcakes, and I even had some little cookie cutters in the shape of stars and gingerbread men, and so I started gluing that into my living room scene, into the tree and onto the mini cutting board, and I think it looks so cute. Of course, my gingerbread house needs gingerbread people, so I'm gonna make a gingerbread mom and 2 kids. I grabbed my Sculpey clay, mixing together brown, yellow, and orange. I have this gingerbread mold, which worked well for the kids. I freehanded the adult because the mold was a little small. I made sure to mold the feet so that they could all stand up. Before baking them, I dusted them with a bronze mica powder, which gives them a little bit of a sheen and makes them even cuter. After they were baked, I added some teal and pink puffy paint as icing. But you didn't think I was going to stop there, did you? I then got out my box of cabochons. I have quite a lot of them in my stash. I pulled out the ones that were candy themed. For the gingerbread mom, I added an ice cream cone as a hat with melted ice cream or whipped cream on her head with little sprinkles, which just make her so cute. I also added a teal candy for her to hold. I'll decorate the rest later on. I knew I wanted to add some presents to my Christmas scene. I took some mini wrapped presents that I got from the dollar store and rewrapped them in some wrapping paper that I'm using this year to go with my color scheme. So they're all teal and pink, and then I left the silver holographic ones as is because that just works perfect. I also found a container of small mini bows, which I believe I got on clearance last year after Christmas. The tag says they were only 74 cents, and they are so adorable and they work perfect with these rewrapped presents. I added the presents and the gingerbread people to my living room scene. And then I pulled out my cabochons to decorate my little kids in place. I added some lollipops and some candies and some whipped cream and sprinkles. And of course, a little crown for my littlest munchkin. Before I put the finishing touches on my gingerbread house, I'm going to work on this Christmas train. I got this little pack from Hobby Lobby for about $3, and it comes with 4 cars, which actually roll, and they're connected by magnets, which I think my kids are going to find to be a lot of fun as they roll them in front of my gingerbread house. I painted each car one of the 4 colors in my color scheme: pink, red, teal, and white. To the teal car, I put some whipped cream and sprinkles. I added an old wreath ornament to the front car, updating it a bit by making the bow pink and putting little dots as ornaments in my color scheme. For the white car, I pictured a car hauling logs, and in this case, it's going to be peppermint logs. So I pulled out the straws again and cut them to the size of the car and glued them on. I recently read The Little Engine That Could to my littlest munchkin. In that book, the engine that requires assistance is bringing presents, dolls, toys, and treats to the children on the other side of the mountain. So I was definitely going for that motif with decorating these cars. I added some presents, little teddy bear dolls and candy cabochons that I had in my stash. On the teal train, I added a piece of chocolate with a bite taken out and cookie cutter buttons in the shape of gingerbread man and a star. I really should have glued on these decorations before putting the puffy paint on that teal car, but I made it work with touch-ups and some patience. So I'm done with my train set. They are so cute. I love the colors. Some of them just really pop with the decorations. This teal is so nice and bright against the white, and the cabochons are really cute. And here is the chocolate and then the cookie cutters in silver. So adorable. And the presents look so great. These silver bows really, I think, make the presents look special. I love the candies and the toys, and I love that they connect and actually roll. I think my kids will really have fun playing with them. I am so happy with my gingerbread house. I think it came out adorable. It's so cute and it matches my aesthetic perfectly. The colors are great. I love that it's an advent calendar that's functional, but it's also just a really cute decor piece that I can put in my living room and the kids can play with it. And I love that, you know, it is functional. Like, they can take things apart and they can use them and put different things in the stockings and just have fun with it, and they'll remember it when they're grown up. I think it's super cute. And although I bought a few pieces for this particular project, I also was able to reuse a lot of things that I already had lying around. This is an old ornament that I had. This is some leftover decoration that I have in other decor pieces in my house for Christmas. So it really matches very nicely, and it is just so extra. I mean, there is so much going on here, but that's great because I'm extra too, and I love it. It's an overload of cuteness, and I think my kids are gonna love it, and it's something I really can bring out year after year. I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll join me again. Please like and subscribe. Bye! Merry Christmas!